Luka, how encouraged have you been about the shot quality that you guys are getting on offense and kind of the way your teammates are learning to play with you and what spots to be in, Jackson returning, Austin on the weak side, all of those things. What's encouraging to you and where do you feel like is the final piece?
Yeah, I mean, people start learning that at some point in the game, they're going to double team me. So, like always, I accept that. And I like playing that. Saves my energy. And, you just got to play 4 and 3. And I think guys are doing great out of there.
Luka, you guys played Denver on Wednesday. Obviously, just coming off the recent game in Denver, but this franchise has history with them. I know you have a relationship with Jokic. Kind of how do you view them as a opponent to be reckoned with in the Western Conference?
Look, I think the team that has Jokic on is always dangerous. With him on the court, there's always danger, and it's hard to play against him. He knows all the tricks. He's an amazing basketball player, but that's fun. That's fun for us. That's a challenge for us, and it's fun. We like challenges, and I think it's going to be a great game.
Luka, JJ told us that I think 70% of the threes you guys created tonight were uncontested. Wide open. As Dorian would call them, butt naked, wide open, three-point shots. For the shot quality to be that high on a night when you particularly didn't shoot it very well.
No, terrible.
What does that say about the potential for this offense? Also knowing that you've got, 40 points a game or whatever it is between LeBron and Rui on the bench waiting too.
It just shows the team we have. I think we share the ball very good. When we play with pace, it's very hard to stop us. And, like you said, open threes are, when you have that many open threes, you should win the game and you should make threes. So we just got to keep playing like that and share the ball like we do.
Last week, JJ told us that he wanted to get more off-ball movement, specifically for you and AR, installed into the offense. It seemed like you guys were able to get to that, not just tonight, but even last night, especially early in game.
For me?
Excuse me?
For me, off-ball?
Yeah, like you coming off ball, like screens off the ball, and then eventually getting the ball.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm kidding.
What do those actions do for you and do for the team when you're able to operate that way?
Makes my life easier. Those actions that he put. There was one ATO today that we ran it twice, and it was just for an alley-oop. So that explains JJ's mind, the way he sees basketball. It's amazing. But just me and AR coming off the ball, it helps me and him and everybody else because we do it with pace. It's hard to stop us.
Luka, Dalton Knecht had another solid game tonight. He led the team in scoring. What have you seen from him during your time here that's helped impact winning?
Who you said?
Dalton.
Dalton, yeah. He had a great game. He had a lot of great games. He's learning how to play. I'm learning how to play with him. And, he's a promising rookie for sure.
Luka, čau. Prvo vprašanje je mogoče, koliko se trenutno zabavaš, glede na to, da vidimo nasmejanega, tudi kar nekaj heca je bilo v slačilnici prej, koliko se trenutno zabavaš v novi ekipi?
Super je. Mislim, da ko bi rekel, vsi v slačilnici so super. Velike zafrkavanja, rečem zajebancija, ampak počutim se super, vsi so me sprejeli super, tako da je top.
Še vprašanje povezano z Denverom. Na zadnje, ko si igral proti Denverju, ste zmagali, to je bila ena pomembna zmaga za ekipo, pa tudi za tvoj prihod. Koliko se veseliš igrati proti Nikoli?
Ja, mislim, te tekme so zmer težke. Meni težke tekme so zmer ekstra motivacija, tako da zelo se veselim te tekme.
Luka, you obviously had a lot of admiration for LeBron and had watched him play growing up and stuff like that, but had only seen Austin a couple times a year when the Lakers would come through Dallas. It seems like the two of you guys are finding chemistry in pretty good ways on the court. What do you like about the way he approaches the game?
This guy just scored 30 in his 4 games in 5 days. That explains everything. But he's an amazing player. For him to go undrafted is unbelievable. And, it's not easy to go undrafted and then play at this level. And it's amazing just to be by his side.
Nice Luka.
Thank you.
Why do you think you were able to kind of stem away from that and stay locked in on a back-to-back like this?
I thought there were stretches that we played good defensively. We lost, our way at the end of the third, start of the fourth when they went on that run. But the way we were able to generate good offense, and I think it was 48 threes and 34 were uncontested. Just our guys' ability to connect, and Luka leading that with 14 assists, and probably could have had 18 or 19. But to have another game with 30-plus assists, I thought our offensive decision-making and consistency, where we had 4 really good offensive quarters was great.
And then with Luka kind of doing his thing, you also had Austin attacking sometimes on the weak side, sometimes as primary. What did you make of how kind of deadly he was with what he was?
Yeah, I think just the Luka and having Austin as the next passer a lot of times. So when there were 2 on the ball, or they were double, or were in a heavy shift from the nail, having AR there as the guy that can either shoot or create the blender with his thrust on his drives was really good. And then that group that was playing end of first, start of second with Dalton and Vando, just playing out of our horns, our movement stuff out of horns. We got some really good stuff out of that. AR, Dalton, Vando, all of them.
To shift ahead to the next 2, how much will you reference what happened on the road against those teams? Not even motivation, but you had different personnel as you prepare for the Wednesday game against Denver, looking at that game you guys just had there.
Yeah, I think against Denver, you're going to reference it a lot, because there were things that we did really well that we think we can emulate again, and then there were some things that we didn't do well. And particularly with that game, our transition defense has to be better, and then we have to do a better job of protecting the paint against Milwaukee.
JJ, I don't think you'll play a lot of games necessarily where you'll shoot almost 53s and 70% will be.
I thought I was sorry. I lost you there for a second.
Let's do the
I'm going to
math.
play no games. I'm not going to play any games. I'm done.
Feels more like a Mike question than one for me. But the thing I'm wondering is are you guys unlocking stuff offensively in terms of, that was always going to follow kind of the defensive part of it, but are you seeing that guys are getting more comfortable playing with Luka, finding the right spots, the cuts, the when to flare and all of that stuff? And is this maybe a harbinger of the things you guys can be offensively?
Yes, and I think for us to fully unlock our team offense, we need to be whole. Again, going back to our group and their responsiveness to everything throughout the season, they generally have done an outstanding job. When we've challenged them on certain things, they've responded. I think Greg has done a really nice job with not a lot of court time over the last few weeks, and really breaking down on film what we want our spacing to look like versus blitzes in pick and roll versus doubles in the post versus doubles from the nail versus fires from the top. Like we've done some really good things against that, and then just if they're not going to double and they're not going to blitz, like our packaging around that has I think been good. And even in some of the games where we haven't necessarily had a great offensive rating, you can kind of attribute that to turnovers and missing shots. I mean, even just the last 2 games, our rim efficiency was really, really poor. I think we were like 10 for 23 at the half against Denver, and it wasn't great yesterday against Phoenix either. So I think it's all going to come together where, we're finishing, we're passing, we're taking care of the basketball, and we're making threes. But pleased with how we're able to generate good looks fairly consistently.